welcome to another episode of Your Health, Wealth, Happiness, and Spirit. Today we will be talking about vitamin D. To help us understand the value of this key nutrient, we are joined once again by Dr. Sadiq. How are you today, Dr. Sadiq?
Thank you for asking. I'm good. How are you?
Great, thank you. For those who might not already know, what exactly is vitamin D?
Vitamin D is incredibly important nutrient that your body needs for a variety of function. It has anti-inflammatory properties. It actually is very crucial for brain activity. It prevents a lot of cancers. It also is very good for the bone health.
Healthy bones. Now, when most people think about healthy bones, they think about calcium. How does vitamin D support bone health?
They go hand in hand. If we have vitamin D, we need calcium, and if we have calcium, we need vitamin D. So that has to be combined together, and they get absorbed, and that's where they help the bone health. So that's very important that we should have calcium and vitamin D together.
I see. So being without vitamin D can be a lot like being without calcium.
Absolutely, because vitamin D cannot get absorbed without calcium, and calcium cannot be absorbed without the vitamin D. So if we have a deficiency of both of these or one of that, then we can have osteoporosis, osteomalacia, rickets, a lot of diseases like that.
So vitamin D goes beyond bone health as well, right?
Absolutely. It has anti-inflammatory properties. It builds the immune system, and it actually can also prevent the heart diseases, diabetes. It's very, in some of the cancers, infections. If we don't have enough vitamin D, we will be very tired, lethargic. We will not have enough defense to fight the infection, especially these days in corona season. We have to have appropriate vitamin D in our system, and it's one of the kind of our regimen on the list of our medication that we have to give patients enough vitamin D.
Wow, so vitamin D really is very important.
Vitamin D is so important that the countries where people are getting enough vitamin D from sunlight, not through the supplements, there is corona cases are less in those countries. So it's very, very important to have our vitamin D level up to the level.
Now, is there a recommended amount of vitamin D we should be having in our diets every day?
Yes, absolutely. The recommendation is that 1 to 70 years of the age, we should get at least 600 international units per day. And if you are older than 70, you can have 800 international units per day. And for children between 12 months of age, at least 400 international units per day.
I see. So limits are really important to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
Now, what about times where sun exposure is an issue, like this past year with quarantine or during the winter months?
Oh, it's not even quarantine time, even in the winter months, and even in sometimes summer months, we tend to keep ourselves inside. We do not kind of make an effort to go outside and get the sunlight. In summer months, we're sitting inside the rooms with air conditioners on. In winter months, we are inside with the heater on. Yeah. So we are not getting enough sunlight for our bodies. And I tell you one thing which is most important, the best vitamin D is from the sunlight. The best vitamin D you want to have it in your body is from the sunlight. So at least 15 to 20 minutes of exposure to the sun 3 to 4 times a week is very, very important.
I see. Now, is it also possible to get vitamin D from our food?
Yes, some of the food have high level of vitamin D. Egg yolk is my favorite. 2 eggs every day can help you a lot. Make sure that either they are organic eggs or vegetarian fed hen's egg. It's very important what diet is given to the hens. So that is extremely important. So egg yolks are very important. Red meat has a lot of vitamin D, and liver of goat, liver of chicken, that has a lot of vitamin D. And also salmon, the fish, that also has a lot of vitamin D. Sometimes they fortified the cereals with vitamin D. Milk has calcium and some vitamin D, but yeah, foods are very, very important too.
But it seems like for the most part, diet isn't really the best source of vitamin D, right?
Yes. As I said earlier, vitamin D, the best vitamin D is from the sunlight.
Now, we already talked about daily minimums, but is it possible to also get a maximum or too much vitamin D?
Yes, everything. I have to convey this message to my audience that we have to do things in moderation. It's extremely important. If we are doing too much of anything, that's not going to be helpful. It will cause a toxicity in your system. So we have to be very, very cautious what our limits are. So I would advise to see your doctor, seek your appropriate dose. If you have enough of vitamin D in your system, you don't have to then take vitamin D. If you don't want to have the high level of vitamin D, and that causes a lot of trouble. I had a patient who actually was taking so many vitamins and so much vitamin that she got really sick of that, and she started losing her hair, her skin was brittle, she started losing weight. So you have to be very, very appropriate with the dosing. So I would advise everyone, call or see your doctor and get your level done, and then take the dosing appropriately.
I see. That's great advice. So like anything else, it really depends on the individual, what might work for them, and research is really important in this case.
Absolutely, it's very, very important.
Thank you, Dr. Sadiq. That's all for this week's episode. We hope you learned about the importance of a nutrient as crucial as vitamin D. Until next time, stay happy, healthy, and live better.